Hey y'all, it is Reaction Video Saturday. Excuse me. I still got my pajamas on, but I wanted to hurry and get this video out. Anyway, today we are reacting and we're going to reflect on videos with children crashing out in the classroom. Lord have mercy. Let's go on and get into it. Y'all, forgive me, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Hopefully by the end of the summer, I'll have this thing down pat. Anyway, here is our first video. We got this little baby. She crashing out in the classroom. Mm. Marisa, what did I do to that baby?
Aria, can you come here, please? Miss T is on the way. Do you need to take a breather? Is everything okay? You need to talk about.
No, everything not okay. See this one? You can't ask questions in a time like this. Are you okay? No, she not okay. Do you need to take a breather? Yes, she does. You don't need to ask that. I know she was trying to get her to calm down, but
Anything? You want to talk about something? Come on. But that's not how you talk.
listen. Oh my God. Listen. If you talk to 10 different teachers, you will get 10 different ways to handle that situation. I know you would. But I would say in this time, in a time like that, asking them, hey, are you going to do this? Or, hey, you can't, in a time like that, you have to use your authoritative voice. Stop it right now. Or let's go sit down together. You know, let's go sit down because you're not going to destroy this classroom. Something like that. I would say you have to kind of shock her system, and you can't be, oh, then after you get that initial stop it right now, something like that, then you can say, what's happening? Why are we doing this? What got you so upset? Or if you know what got us so upset, then if just because everybody got a Skittle and you didn't get one, what happened that you didn't get one? Then you can have that kind of conversation. But at a stage where she is already mad, pulling chairs and doing stuff like that, you have to use that authoritative voice. And I'm not gonna say it's all the time that works. Sometimes it might not work. Sometimes I remember my first year teaching, I used the biggest Wizard of Oz voice that I had. I call it my Wizard of Oz voice. And I let into those kids and they sat there, look at him screaming. I was like, oh goodness. That was all I had. That was my strongest voice. So now I had to come up with another way. So then I remember my math teacher, Miss Brown from Richburg Middle School. We would be in there talking, and the more we talked, she sit there. She was doing the whole time. We looking, and I was like, "Oh, y'all, please stop this talking," cause she done started smiling. And the more she smiled, the more math problems she added up on that homework. We got 60 problems. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't stand that lady. But that was how she handled it. She did not scream at us. She just sat there. You know you're not supposed to be talking. You know we got work to do. Baby, that lady. Whew. But I learned that. It's a powerful lesson. Sometimes you don't have to yell and scream. Sometimes you can just give the look or the smile. Sometimes, that's a way to handle that. But like I said, you will talk to 10 teachers, and all 10 of them will give you 10 different ways to handle that situation. Now, real quick, I just got one more because I'm still trying to learn how to use this. So I got one more video I want to try. Hopefully, we can get down to the nitty gritty. Uh-oh, hold on. I'm still working on it. We gonna get to it. But this is another. Now, the ending of this video is kind of funny, but we'll talk about it. And I'm not gonna talk during it. I'm a hush so you can hear.
This is what my daughter did at school today. She did this to her whole classroom.
Oh, so you cut up at school today. Oh, you wanna cut up. Okay, I got something for that. Shut up, I don't even wanna hear it. Turn around. Mama.
That is silly. Turn it off. Oh, Lord. Turn it off. Anyway, that was funny. But I would say, in an instant like that, if your daughter or if your child has already torn up the class like that, whooping won't help because whooping and anger is probably going to only breed more anger in that baby. So you got to come up with another way, like I would now. After that child calmed down, baby, you finna come back in here and clean this up. Every drop of it. I would sit at that school, tell the teacher, uh, if you want to sit up here with me, you can. But this baby finna come in. I would have go after school, and that baby gonna clean up every last drop of that classroom, and she gonna sit there, and uh, if we have to stay there till 9 o'clock at night, or DoorDash some McDonald's so she can eat, but she gonna clean that room up. Sure is. Now that's the one thing. You're not gonna get out of that because I'm not gonna scream at you. I don't gotta whoop you, but I'm gonna sit right here and we gonna clean this room up. Mainly you. I'm gonna watch you and I help you pick up the big stuff that you can't pick up. But you finna clean this room up. Sure am. And that's one of those restorative practices that when you have to restore the relationship, first you gotta make up for what you did. So now you gotta restore the relationship with your class, with your teacher, cause after you done clean up this room, you finna stand up in front of the class and apologize. You gonna apologize to the teacher. Mm-mm. If I were that parent, I'm calling off of work tomorrow and I'm gonna be in the classroom with you. Mm-mm. And that means you're not gonna go to no recess, you're not gonna go to lunch, you're not gonna go to special area, none of that. You got work to do. You finna be writing letters. You finna write a letter to the teacher. You gonna write a letter to the students. You gonna write a letter to the principal. So in that case, even though that was a funny video, I don't think spanking would work. Even with the first video, anger breeds more anger sometimes. But in the same time, sometimes a stern, angry voice will shock their system and stop them in their tracks. Then you can talk to them. Sometimes that's what you need, a little bit of sternness, and then, hey, what's going on? So as I said, that's just my take on it. Sometimes my way works and sometimes it doesn't. Like I told you, when I was first teaching and I went in the classroom, I mean, they were just going crazy. I mean, that school was off the chain, and so they were going crazy in there. Like they, when I first started at the school, they say, Mr. Demby, your room is the war room, cause this is where the kids normally come to fight. Cause, and I'm like, oh my, cause when I got there, a lot of the instruments were broken and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And baby, they was in there cutting the food. So I say, stop that. Use that big voice. And them kids talking about, oh, look at him screaming. What's wrong with him? I said, oh, Lord. That's when I decided I got to come up with a new way. And that's when I developed stop, think, and breathe and make the right choice. And I started then. I said, well, I might miss this class, those fifth graders, but I'm gonna start with the kindergartners, teaching them about breathing and reading. I am the best, so I will act like the best. Things like that. Teaching them about the Jacob way, using self control. I know I'll do the right thing. I took Lovely Day and changed it. But I started those things, small things like that with the lower grades so that as they get higher, then we don't have those kind of problems. And so that hopefully that helps. Hopefully y'all don't have to deal with anything like that. If you do, I'm praying for you. I can give you what I would do in that situation, but I don't know if it would help you. Eh, those are extreme situations in the classroom. And we have been having a lot of extreme situations lately. But as I said before, ask 10 teachers how to handle it. You're probably going to get 10 different ways, and no way is the right way. But hopefully, what I told you helped. And remember, where the spirit of learning is, there is liberty.